But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong, it had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man. And, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there. And even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intention.
Any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights, and now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than what he was when he beat Usyk.
In his latest training footage, Usyk looks incredible. His methods are so different, they sharpen his vision in ways other fighters can't match. It feels like he sees punches before they even come. Every move he makes is calm, locked in, and almost unreal. That style is exactly why he's so hard to hit, and why no opponent finds him easy to figure out. People questioned if Usyk could keep dominating younger, stronger heavyweights. Going into the Dubois rematch, he was under pressure. But Usyk didn't flinch. He put on a clinic that shut the critics up. His timing, movement, and control were levels above. Russ Amber said Usyk had a point to prove, and he did just that. He set the pace, broke Dubois down with skill, and reminded everyone that he's still the top dog in the heavyweight division.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I had never seen him so intent on wanting to knock somebody out. It's the quickest knockout he scored, I think, in his professional career.
Yes,
I'd
even
have to
at
look at
cruiserweight.
it. Yeah, I'd have to look to be sure, but it's the quickest knockout he scored. He was a man on a mission. He was really personally hurt and offended by the remarks made by Team Dubois.
Yeah.
By George Fox, Don Charles' son. By Don himself, questioned. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was questioning Usyk's faith.
Yes.
Now you could question a lot. You can question his skill, question boxing, or whatever you want. Questioning his faith, bro.
Yeah.
That was something that really hit a chord, and you don't often. Tyson Fury couldn't get to.
He tried
Usyk
every hand
mentally,
game in the book.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong, it had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man. And, you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there. And even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions, yeah.
He was throwing with bad intentions, yeah.
Usyk's greatness isn't just inside the ring. When war hit Ukraine, he made a bold choice to serve his country. He didn't hide. He stood up and fought for his people. That decision earned massive respect back home. He carries the pride of a champion and the heart of a patriot. At one point, some British fans and fighters overlooked him. Now the world sees him as a once-in-a-generation fighter. He never asked for recognition. He earned it with his courage and his fists.
Usyk's involvement in the war began when he enlisted in the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces after the Russian invasion. His decision to fight for Ukraine has had a profound impact on the country, making him a symbol of hope and resistance. Usyk's presence on the front lines has boosted the morale of the Ukrainian military and civilian population alike. So this man kept his heavyweight championship, continued to be heavyweight champion, no losses, nothing on his record, and still went and defended his country during war. Given that, you gotta give him the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. His accolades inside the ring match it. But now that I find this out that the man was in the front line, and they said that even after the Fury fight, he was keeping in contact with the soldiers, and he was, boosting the morale and boosting his countrymen and raising money for the war, regardless of the politics, whether the war should be going on or not, and who should be killing who, it don't matter. The man went to war.
Carl Froch didn't hold back when talking about Usyk. With each fight, Usyk gets sharper, stronger, and smarter. Froch said Joseph Parker wouldn't be a real threat considering his losses and weaknesses. He even mentioned that Usyk might want to consider retiring soon. He's done it all. Multiple divisions, title defenses, total dominance. Facing someone like Moses wouldn't add anything new to what he's already done. Froch's view reflects what a lot of fans believe. Usyk doesn't have anything left to prove.
Heavier tonight than what it was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age, and there's nothing left to do. He's made an absolute fortune, and he don't need it anymore. He's done it. He's clocked it. He's completed it. It's like he's got the cheat code, and it's like it's not fair on everybody else. So I'd like to see Usyk retire. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see him fight next. Somebody like Moses Atoma, I just don't think is going to be ready. I think if you're managing Moses, you need to take your time with him. You can't be chucking him in there. People say, yeah, chuck him in there with him, fight him, see how he goes. If he gets beat, he's lost to Usyk. But it could destroy his soul. It could take away that young, promising prospect that Atoma is. He could have a good future. And to fight somebody like Usyk now, if he got wiped out and got disheartened, it could be the end of his career. So I just think Usyk now, really, nobody can say anything to Usyk if he retires now after that win. He's done everything there is to do. Fury twice, AJ twice, now Dubois twice. There's nobody else left to beat. He's done it. Usyk should just hang the gloves up. He's been a fantastic addition to the heavyweight division since coming up from cruiserweight. He's been absolutely brilliant. And what he did tonight against Dubois was nothing short of just... He made it look easy. And I don't want to disrespect Daniel Dubois, but he just made it look easy. And he does make rounds look easy, doesn't he? Whoever is in with, whether he's in with Tyson Fury, whether he's in with AJ, he makes it look easy.
Joseph Parker's name keeps popping up as Usyk's next fight, but most fans aren't excited. It feels one-sided based on skill and experience. Oladipo had another idea. He suggested bringing Derek Chisora back for a rematch. Not for competition, but for the show. Chisora brings chaos and entertainment every time. His wild energy could make it feel like a big event.
Then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number one for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, you know, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Oleksandr Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get... I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's rankings. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because, again, Oleksandr Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll fight then. Fuck it. If this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, you know, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold onto the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. That's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
Some people have started comparing Usyk to Muhammad Ali. Their styles are different, but their greatness feels the same. Both rely on intelligence over brute force. They confuse their opponents with rhythm, timing, and strategy. Usyk reads fights and adapts fast, just like Ali used to. The comparison isn't about fame. It's about how both turn boxing into something deeper. Usyk fights like an artist. That's why his impact is being felt across the sport.
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, you know, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Roy Jones Jr. admitted he was shocked by how easily Usyk broke down Dubois. Dubois had power and size, but his plan was too basic. Roy said power alone won't beat someone like Usyk. You need brains, strategy, and constant adjustments. Usyk reads his opponents like a book. He watches for small habits and uses them to take control. Roy made it clear, if a fighter doesn't have a perfect plan, they won't survive. That's coming from a legend who knows greatness. Usyk doesn't just win, he shuts opponents down mentally. Anyone who thinks strength alone is enough is already done. Roy's words show the real truth. Usyk's biggest weapon isn't his fists, it's his mind.
Oleksandr Usyk, what did you make of his display against Daniel Dubois last Saturday? It was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was nothing less than I expected, because if you make a guy quit with a jab, Spencer, you know this, if you make a guy quit with a jab, how is that guy ever going to beat you? You understand me? I mean, that's just what the real facts are. Not that the kid had got a little bit better. He got a little more confidence because he had a win over Joshua, which was good, but confidence is just not enough to beat a guy like Usyk. You got to have some technique. You got to have some grit. You can't lose him with a jab and think you're going to beat him. It's not going to work.
Roy, you was a smaller guy that went up and won the world heavyweight title, one of the only ones to do that from middleweight up to heavyweight. You know, how does someone beat Oleksandr Usyk? Is it the smaller guy? Is it the guy that's coming up in the weight divisions, you know, as opposed to the bigger heavyweights?
No, the bigger guys could beat him, just got to have the right fight plan. None of these guys fight him with the right fight plan. And I'm not going to tell them the right fight plan because that's not my job to do. But you got to have the right fight plan to fight Usyk. If you don't have the right fight plan, he's going to destroy you.
What sets Usyk apart is how he thinks. Even as a unified champion, he stays humble. He never assumes a fight will be easy. He trains hard for every opponent because he respects the danger. That mindset keeps him locked in. While some fighters get lazy after a few wins, Usyk keeps working. His pride isn't in the spotlight, it's in the grind. That's why no matter who he faces, his performance stays at the highest level.
What are the dangers that Daniel Dubois brings to you this time?
Daniel, young guy, Daniel dangerous every time because this guy have good punch and good boxing skill. But I must be careful because it's boxing. But I prepare for this fight.
Will you stop him this time, do you think, or will it go 12 rounds?
Listen, I prepare every time on 12th round because we with my coach, with my team, we prepare 12th round. But if I have chance, I do it.
Do you believe you will stop him?
Yes, of course.
Usyk's move from cruiserweight to heavyweight wasn't just about gaining weight, it was about smart evolution. He adjusted his style and kept what made him special. Beating Joshua twice proved he can handle the biggest names. But what really stands out is his character. He paused his career to defend Ukraine. That shows what kind of person he is. A champion in the ring and a man of honor outside it.
But he must go away and make the adjustments, do some learning. But that can only happen if he can let go of his dad. And I mean, when it comes to the boxing, the fact of the matter is, if his dad was good enough for the job, he would already be in his corner. Oleksandr Usyk, 3-time undisputed champion of the world. There's no doubt in my mind, he takes the #1 spot for pound. And not forgetting, at 2 different weights. And it's not just that, it's the fashion in which he does it. It's clinical. He cleaned up in the amateurs, then the pros. He's just built different. He's been fighting the best. No questions asked. Going into the lion's den, time and time again. His wins are so clean. He's not in wars. He takes care of business. Comes back like he's been to the shops. And amongst all of this, he's been to war. The way he carries himself is impeccable. I couldn't think of a better man, a person, to represent the sport of boxing. He's beaten the best at heavyweight, not once, but twice. AJ, Fury, and now Daniel Dubois. At this point, I just feel he should retire. He's got nothing to prove. And I felt this way after Fury 2, after beating Daniel at 38. What's left? Let me know what you think. Please let me know in the comment section. I love to read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Paulie Malignaggi said it best. Usyk wins with his brain. While most fighters chase knockouts or try to look flashy, Usyk focuses on timing and angles. His footwork opens space and shuts down attacks without needing a big punch. He creates confusion with rhythm and stays in full control of every moment. Holly believes this is the future of boxing. Smart, technical, and precise. And right now, Usyk is leading that future.
Hey, man, stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5, but man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Oleksandr Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land this jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent. Dubois tried to come out pressuring, but what he tries to do, he tries to create that panic in you because he's a puncher. So he tries to create that panic to where you start moving too much. And especially at an older Usyk, maybe he'll get tired out by moving too much. But Usyk keeps his steps, his moves so short, so tight. And because they're short and tight, they're not burning a lot of energy, number one. And number two, he's able to throw punches off those moves because they're in so tight that he doesn't really lose the punching distance and punching range, on top of always being well balanced when he makes that sidestep. He likes to make that sidestep a lot to the right-hander's weak side. And, he was doing that very, very well tonight. A lot of times he'll make that sidestep without punching. A lot of times he'll sidestep as he's throwing the left hand. Then he varies the left hand with a straight shot around the side. I think that's a really sneaky shot against opposing stances. I used to like to use it against southpaws as well. That wide right hand against southpaws. Obviously, the southpaw will like to use it against right-handers. Sometimes that wide left hand. Sometimes people say, "Oh, throw straight right hand against a southpaw." For a southpaw, throw straight left hand against a right-hander. But if you mix them and sometimes throw it wide, obviously calculating your distances correctly, it can have a lot of effect, and also it can prevent the opponent from getting not just a timing, but also a anticipation for your backhand punches, because sometimes they're coming straight and sometimes they're coming in from around the side. And I think Usyk really masters that very well. If that was a punch actually Pacquiao knocked out Hatton with, which is a wide left hand.